Hello, very good morning. Today we will start chapter 6, Review Python. So I have noted some points on the board. Let us discuss this one by one. So first we will discuss input, process, output. In our these three steps, input, process and output, we all follow these three steps in our daily life too. But we didn't care about it, but we follow these three steps. Suppose let, let us discuss the example given in the book, making a clay toy. Let us discuss the process of making a clay toy. What we do? So first of all, we would need raw clay, color to make the clay toy. So what is these are the input, raw clay and color. These are the input that is required to make a clay toy. Then the next process, then we mold the clay and color it and leave it to dry. Leave it for some time to dry it. And then after some time we have a clay toy. So making a clay toy involves three steps: input, process, output, in which raw clay and color are the input, molding and coloring it is the process, and drying, molding, coloring and drying is the process, and as output we get a clay toy. I have discussed this because a computer performs whatever the work we perform using computer, those all work are performed by the computer in the same manner. To execute a work, first computer takes input, then it processes the input data, and finally it gives the result back to us that we see on the screen, that is on the monitor. So how the data is given input to the computer? By using program. So let us recall, however we have discussed programming and programming language in the previous class, but let us recall this of the program. A program is the sequence of instructions that is given to the computer to perform a particular task. Whenever we would need to give input data to the computer, then we can do so by just using the instructions, by giving the instruction to the computer, and the collection or combination those instructions or command is called a program. The next term is programming. The process of writing a program is called programming. The next is programming language. The language that we use to write a program is called programming language. In earlier time, there was only machine language. We have already discussed machine language, low level language, assembly language and high level language. So the language that is used to write the program is called programming language, and we use high level language, and Python is one of them. Python is a high level language. The example of high level languages are C, C++, Java and Python. And in this chapter we will, however, you all have introduced the chapter in class 5, and in this chapter we will learn something more about the Python. Python is a general purpose high level programming language which features are simple and interactive, platform independent, case sensitive, object oriented, interpreted language, uses variables without declaration. So let us discuss its feature. Simple and interactive. Python is a simple and interactive language. Simple means it is easy to learn and hence easy to write the program using Python language. And interactive means the interaction between the user and the language is very simple and friendly manner. The next, platform independent. Platform independent means the program once written on an operating system, written on one operating system, can be run on any other operating system with less or no modification. This is one of the most advantage of most important feature of Python language. The next, case sensitive. Here case sensitive means some of the programming language are case sensitive and some of the programming are not case sensitive. Here case sensitive means we use two cases to write alphabets, a small case and capital case. So Python will treat these two differently. That is why it is case sensitive. Python will treat these two alphabets. However, these are the same alphabets X, but this has been written in a small case and this has been written in capital case. So Python will treat these two variables. Suppose as we use variables in maths, we also will use variable in programming language. So Python will treat these two differently, different variables. The next, object oriented. Here object oriented means any real world entities. Here object means things, whatever the things we see at our surroundings. So any real world entities can be modeled into the programming language. Here object oriented means this. However, object oriented means it considers the class and its objects, but this feature will be taught to you in the higher classes. But right now, the object oriented, we have to study the object orientation in a limited up to a fixed extent. So I am not going to discuss this anymore. But the sense is that any real world entity, whatever these are the furnitures, tables or vehicles, these all entities, these all things, these all objects can be modeled into a program. The next is interpreted language. As we know that high level language is always compiled or interpreted to machine language so that the computer can understand it, but that is a language directly converted into machine language so as the computer can understand it. But sometimes Python, the language program written in Python, doesn't require to get translated into bytecodes as C, C++, Java does. That is why it is called interpreted language. The next, uses variables without a declaration. As we have studied QBasic in the previous class, in QBasic we must declare the variable before its use. But in Python, there is no need to declare the variable before its use. These features make the Python much popular. In Python was created by Guido van Rossum at CWI, that is Centrum Wiskunde Informatica. The Python was created by Guido van Rossum. And these days the Python has been using to design the various applications like desktop applications, web applications, mobile applications, in robotics, etc. And the most popular application that we all have been using, that we all are using, like YouTube, Google and Instagram, have been developed using Python language. Now let us discuss some more points. Now the next point is installing Python on your computer. It is very simple. To install Python on our computer, just open any web browser and type this web address in the address box, www.python.org/download. A list of Python program will be displayed. Click on it and install it. And after installing, you will get the Python shell as given in figure 6.2 in the book. Just look at the figure 6.2 in the book. You will get a Python shell, the Windows. Your Python shell is the Python Windows. The Python Windows is specially called Python shell with the Python prompt like this, triple greater than sign. This is the Python prompt, means next to this we can write the programs, write the commands. Now the working modes of Python. Python works in two different modes, interactive mode and script mode. Interactive mode is used mainly, the interactive mode is used to write short programs, small programs, while script mode is used to write lengthy programs. And in interactive mode, whatever the command we give to the computer is its output is displayed very instantly, and that is interactive mode executes the commands line by line. Interpreter executes the command line by line. We give an instruction, press enter key, you will get its output. Then again give some other instruction, you will get it commands output very instantly. To work in interactive mode, just follow the steps. First, open the Python shell. To open Python shell, follow the steps. Click on the Start All Program Python 3.7 IDLE Python 3.7. Here a new term IDLE stands for Integrated Development Environment. We will discuss it later. Right now, after following these steps, a Python shell will be displayed. And now, give the command next to this. This is Python prompt, means it is ready to receive your instruction. Now say, give any instruction like this is my first Python program. As we press enter key, the result will be displayed. This is my first Python program following Python prompt. Now give the next instruction, say 60 and press enter key. Here the output will be given like this, following prompt command. This is how interactive mode works. Now give next command, say 20 plus 10. It will return the value 30 following Python prompt. This is how interactive mode works. Again, interactive mode executes the command line by line. We give the command, press enter key, it gives the output very instantly. And the next is print function. Now we will discuss print function. This is the function, as we have already studied. Function is always followed by a small parenthesis to accept arguments. This is the print function, and print function is used to, we will use print function in both the modes, in interactive mode as well as in the script mode. And print function basically is used to display the user defined message. For example, to use print function, print this is my first Python program. It will display the result like this. This is my first Python program. The difference between print function and the previously executed command is that as we write the message without print, as we write it is displayed the same, but in print function here the things is to be noticed that here we singly quote the message that we want to display by single quotation mark, and in the output we can see there is no single quotation mark. But if we write this message without print function, it will be displayed as the same as in the previous output. Now say print 10. It will print 10 without single quotation. The next, print 20 plus 10. It will display the output like this. Now we can use some separator with print function. Let me erase this. And next, we can use many separator with print function. Say, for example, here we have noted some separators like comma, /n, /t. Let us understand the use of these separators. Separators are used to format the message that we want to display. Say, when we use comma, it will give a single space between the value. When we use /n, it will print the next value on a new line. When we use /t, it will provide one tab space between the values, and one tab space equal to 5 spaces. One tab space equals 5 spaces. Let us understand this with the help of example. Say we want to print 10, 20. It will display here when we didn't use comma. It will display the result like this. However, in the message, in the argument, I gave a space, but as I didn't use any separator, there is no space between these two values. And if we use comma separator between this value 10 and 20, then it will display the result as this. This comma separator gave a single space between the values. And the next, the use of next line /n. Print 10, 20. Here the separator should be written like this, comma, and give the separator between the single quotes. Here the first value 10 will be displayed, and then the next value, that is 20, will be displayed on the new line. This is how the /n separator works. And now print 10 tab 20. It will display the result like this. It will leave 5 blank spaces, then the next value will be printed. This is how the various separator works. Again, in the first command, I didn't use any separator, but gave a space. But then though, the value has been printed without giving any space. But if I use a comma separator, it will provide one space between the values. And when we use the /n, it displays the next value in the next line. First, the value 10 has been displayed, and then the next value, that is 20, is displayed on the next line. And when we use /t, it provides 5, one tab space. One tab space equal to 5 spaces. 5 spaces between 10 and 20. Here, I had given the blank, those dotted line, broken line, to count the spaces. However, this has been not printed. And the next is ideally integrate